Hey, this is Mr. Townsend for Physical Science class. This is Chapter 5, Section 2. Today we're going to talk about the modern periodic table, and we're covering state benchmark C4.9. We'll be talking about periodic law, atomic mass, the classes of elements, and then change across a period. Periodic law. The modern periodic table, elements are arranged in increasing atomic number. So, number 1 is here. Then you go over here, you have number 2, then you have number 3, and number 4, and over here you start having 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, so that they're in an order. And it's based on the number of protons. Each row is called a period, each column is called a group or family. There are 2 potential names for a column. So a row goes this way, and a column goes this way. Periodic law. Properties of elements that are repeated in predictable ways when arranged into groups. What does that mean? All right, well, here's what you can say another way. There is a repetition. It repeats. These properties here repeat in a family of elements. So as you're going up and down across a row, let's say this is 1A, and let's just say this is 2A. Okay, the properties in this row will all be similar to each other, and the properties in this row will be similar to each other. So this is a family, go up and down like this, or groups, also called groups. And periods go left and right like that. The atomic mass. This is the weighted average of the masses of an element. Okay, and you'd find that on the periodic table at the bottom usually. This also includes all of the isotopes in that average. So it's based on the 1/12 the mass of carbon-12. And anyway, what you really need to know here is that it's based on, or the unit is the AMU, the atomic mass unit. And again, it is the weighted average of the masses of an element, of all the masses of that element. All right, there are 3 types of classes for an element. The first is a metal. You're probably familiar with metal. It can conduct electricity. It can get hot when touching the heat. It is malleable, which means you can change the shape of it. That's what malleable means. Non-metals would be the opposite. They do not conduct electricity and heat. They have a low boiling point. Usually they are a gas at room temperature. And they're very breakable or brittle at room temperature. Metalloids would be the ones that are kind of in between. They have some properties of both metal and non-metal. So, across a period, as we go left to right, what happens to the types of elements? They become less metal. So your metals are over here. And over here you have your non-metals. So they become less metal, more non-metal. You have your most reactive metals here, and you have your most reactive non-metals over here, which means the ones here in the middle are your stable ones, and of course this one too would be a stable one. And note that this goes right up in there. It just would make the periodic table too long. Thanks for taking the time today to watch this video on the modern periodic table. If you've had any questions, please write them down and ask them in class tomorrow. Thank you.